All right, Shalom. As always, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS who rule well, and honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so today I want to talk about um, the so-called Jews. I was looking through my notes. I knew I wanted to film this morning, and I was trying to find a show to talk about, and I came across the title I had written down. It said, "Even the ancient high places are ours in possession," and that scripture in Ezekiel the 36th chapter talks about um, the how the Edomites would even would take hold of our land. If you read, excuse me, if you read, the whole chapter of Ezekiel 36. And so I started looking up a couple of scriptures, and I started thinking about it. And I wanted to pull up that that tweet that this guy Deshaun Jackson had put up, and there's another couple of them that were floating around that I wanted to talk about. And I started thinking about this guy Nick Cannon again, and how he sat with that rabbi and you know apologized, right? You know, uh, in my opinion, in my opinion, when you're apologizing for something, you're apologizing because either you didn't mean it, or it was it was a mistake, or it was untrue. But I don't know why one would apologize for telling the truth, right? Um, the truth should never be you, whether or not you should apologize for something, or in this case the truth, shouldn't be based upon how somebody felt about the truth. The truth is what the truth is, right? The scripture said, let me see. I think this is how it goes. All right. Then Peter opened his mouth. This is Acts 10:34, and said, "Of a truth, I perceive that the Most High is no respecter of persons." Right. So no matter how the person feels, no matter how or who the person is, right? The Lord doesn't care, right? The truth should be the thing that stands, right? And though Nick Cannon and Professor Griff went off in some points, the crux of it all, right? The main point of it all was true, and for you to apologize for something that is true is ridiculous. So I wanted to go into the scriptures and show a little bit how um, it's talked about that this would happen, that there would be a people that took on our heritage and our culture. This would happen. This is not a it's not a mis Salakia. It's not a accident or a misunderstanding. The scriptures prophesied that this would happen, right? That the Edomites will take on our heritage and our culture and make it their own, right? So let me. I just want to play a little bit of this, man. I was just watching it just a little while ago and got me upset. But go ahead and play it a little bit.
Journey was Hebrew. And then here we are today where it's become the conversation of the world today. I don't think there's anyone who's not aware of, the conflict and ultimately the pain that I caused. And I said it a few times. I've offered up, and I know it's actually Hebrew scripture to ask for forgiveness once, twice, three times,
Right.
and then they have to forgive you.
That's correct.
So
The
I know
Talmud,
the Talmud. You
which
have
gets
you have to forgive me,
often gets a bad
Rabbi.
rap from certain people, but the Talmud says the way it works
So it is a
is
must that you forgive me. But in all sincerity, because I actually don't like apologies, because I feel like apologies are empty. Because in that sense, you can say sorry as many times, but if you don't learn, if you're not corrected, and then you move forward, there's no growth, there's no healing. So that.
And whatever, right? Um, and to that, you should never have to apologize for telling the truth. I don't care how it makes somebody feel. You shouldn't have to apologize for telling the truth. You cause hurt and and all of that. That's ridiculous, man. But anyway, so I wanted to start by going over here to this tweet that this guy Deshaun Jackson put up. And it's just an excerpt. I don't know where this is from. Maybe I should have looked, but this is from it looks like a book or some pamphlet of some sort, but um, it wasn't. I guess I say that to say that these weren't his words. This was just something he was posting, and our people, right? Once you find out you're Israelite, right? It's an exciting thing, but understand that there's consequences that come with pushing this word, right? Right? And when you come to terms with that, you understand that you know people are gonna say what they're gonna say, but the truth is the truth, you know, and if you're gonna backpedal for telling the truth, just leave it up to the big boys, people, and I say that I shouldn't say it so arrogantly, but leave it up to the people that they've devoted their lives to it because they don't have anything to lose. They don't have a reputation, a celebrity, a bank account that's got millions of dollars in it. Leave it up to the people that have devoted their lives to it. You know. So the tweet says, or the excerpt here says, because the white Jews know that the Negroes are the real children of Israel, and to keep America secret, the Jews will blackmail America. Um, it says the will extort America, but it should say they will extort America. Their plan for world domination won't work if the Negroes know who they are, right? Which is what I did a show on that a couple days ago, speaking about that same thing. Where if no one can rule the world unless the children of Israel are either dead or the person who or the people who are trying to rule the world have Israel in their possession, right? So as long as we don't know, right, then they can continue on in their domination. It says the white citizens of America will be terrified to know that all this time they've been mistreating and discriminating and lynching the children of Israel, right? But they're all of the same ilk, right? You got the white Americans and these so-called Jews that are keeping it secret. They're all related. They're all from the same nation, right? Um, so I'll go to this next one. It says Hitler's confessions. It says Hitler said even in his death he will start World War III. One of his soldiers asked how. Hitler replied, "The day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend, or what I was trying to defend this nation, Germany, from, then that's the day World War III will start. For on that day, mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nation from the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Jews. For if the Americans win the war, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews, and they will try to conquer God. Do you know who America has in its possession?" "No," the soldier replied. The Americans has the jewels of God. The Americans have stolen God's precious jewels. What do you mean, his precious jewels? The soldier asked. Hitler said, America has stolen the Jews of God, his jewelry, uh, the Negroes. They are the true Hebrews, right? So these couple of things have been circulating around, and the thing that aggravated me most about watching that clip of Nick Cannon's show there was that the rabbi sat there as though he was of some authority, right? And I'll say this, right? I really believe that there are some so-called Jews who don't know that they're not the descendants of the people that walked across the Red Sea. That's just me, right? That's just my opinion. I really believe that there are some that don't know, right? The elites know, but as it trickles down into the common folk, I think that there are some that don't know that they are not the children of Israel, right? And the scriptures talk about it, right? So let me go. I'll start here, right? This is Deuteronomy 28:33. It says, "The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always." Right? So this is one of the curses that was put on the nation of Israel, right? That another nation shall take what belongs to us, right? And eat it up, right? And then at the same time oppress us, man. And that's exactly what the so-called white man, the Edomites, the higher ups. These are the Amalekites. These are the descendants of the Amalekites, and they've taken on our heritage, our culture, and made it their own, and put us under oppression, man. You see, so this is a part of our of the curses, right? And here's the thing, and I talked about this before, which is true. Like the prophecies have to be congruent, right? They have to be true all the way through. And one thing about or one question that should be risen about the so-called white people calling themselves Jews. One question that should be risen is that, all right, well, if they are the Jews, then there should be no more war, right? If they've been uh, by 1948 put in their proper place as the Jews, right, and been reinserted into their land, then why are there wars? And not only why are there wars, but they're the people that uh, perpetuate the war. You know, yes, I wish I would have thought of this, because if you look it up, right, if you do the searches and follow the money and who was involved in funding all these different wars that have happened over the past few decades and centuries, you would see that their hands have been in it, man. So not only has war not ended, but the people that are calling themselves Jews um, are the ones perpetuating war. Okay, so let me go to this next one. Right, this is right. So it says this, right? This is Leviticus 26:33. It says, "And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate, and your cities waste." Right, and this is true, right? I was trying to find there was something I read years ago about, and the elder apostles used to talk about this a lot too, which is how modern day Israel has to import, trees into the land because the land doesn't isn't fruitful anymore, right? And it just says here in Leviticus, in this 26th chapter, in this 33rd verse, that the land would be desolate, right? As we were scattered among the heathen, the land would become desolate, right? Because the people that the land was intended for are not there. You see. So let me go here. Is this it? No. So I didn't pull it up. So let me just do it like this. Um, to the scripture that the show's namesake is about. This is Ezekiel 36. I haven't read this in a long time. Yeah, so this is Ezekiel 36 and 2. It says, Thus saith the Lord, because the enemy have said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. Right? It says, Therefore prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up in the lips of talkers, and are an infamy of the people, right? And this happened, right? Aren't so-called black people, right? So-called Hispanic people, right? Aren't we an infamy of the people, right? Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord power. Thus saith the Lord power to the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about, right? When we left that land, man, everybody tried to get a piece of it, right? And you can see that today, even till this day, where you have Ishmael and Amalek fighting over that land, man, right? Ishmael said he should be there. Amalek said he should be there, right? And throughout history, that has been a thing, man. You know, the amount of riches that were in the temple when every time it was ransacked, you know, everybody's always tried to get a piece of that land. And if you look at the earth, right, and you think about it in terms of I forget the name, I forget how that scripture goes, but the scriptures say basically through her traffic, she was made rich, right? Talking about Esau, right? And traffic is business, right? And if you look at Israel and its position, right, in on Earth, it is the center, the epicenter of the Earth, right? And you got the four great rivers that the scriptures talk about would pass through that land, right? And then you have the river, not the river, the water, the body of water to the west of Israel, right? So it's an epicenter for trade, man. It's just like the hub where all things can flow in and out of, right? The Lord set that up perfectly, okay? So everybody has tried to take a piece of that because it is indeed the epicenter of the earth, man, or what's known as today as the Fertile Crescent, right? So moving on, it says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, right? Which is the Greek way of saying Edom, right? Which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. You see? This is who did this. The so-called Edomites, man. The so-called white people. So those people in that land, they took that land and made it their own. And I wish I knew where my book was. I moved recently. I don't know where my book is, the 13th Tribe. And it's funny because I tried to look it up, right? I tried to look it up because I was trying to find a name, and I looked up when Khazars converted to Judaism. And the first line item that popped up, which is funny about Google these days, the first line item that popped up was in opposition of that thought. You know that it says there was no possible evidence that the Khazars converted to Judaism, right? But this guy Arthur Koestler, who wrote the 13th Tribe, cited many different sources, went through much of the history, right, to say that the Jews that are so-called Jews today could not be the descendants. Just like how when Oprah was trying to convince Gates that she was a Congolese or from the Congo or whatever, he told her like, look, Like the history, like as far as history goes, there is no way that you, being a descendant of American slaves, could be from the Congo. There was no slaves that came from there, and she was adamant about it, man. Well, for me, it was a little embarrassing to watch how adamant she was about it, right? And the same thing here. Arthur Koestler went through the history and said, look, fine, if you guys want to, call yourself a Jew, that's fine, but then it'd have to be a 13th tribe, because there is no way that the people that make up most of modern Jewry today could be the descendants of the people that walked across the Red Sea. It's just not a way it could have happened. And there's plenty of evidence, right? You got these two excerpts that I read in regards to Hitler. Um, there's a book that I gave to Zion years ago that I had. He gets into the wars and everything like that. So I gave it to him. And in that book, matter of fact, I think I saw a little picture of it right here. Boom. In this book, it talks about how in this piece here, you can't see it now, but it talks about how the Jews that were in the land were so-called Negroes, right? And then they show him, right? This is how they returned to the land, right? So it's matter of fact, this is the exact book, the Nazis. I'm gonna see if that brother still got that book. If not, I think that was an expensive book. Try to buy it again. But anyway, man. So that was it. That's all I had pulled up. Hopefully that was edifying. You know, if I'll say this again, and I've said it in other shows, that if you're not prepared, to take on the things that could happen to you um, for telling the truth, then don't tell it, so that you don't have to backpedal, man. It looks really bad because now even if that rabbi came out and said, "Oh, you didn't say nothing wrong," but you now apologizing and backpedaling makes it look like it's wrong, you know. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rachak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, honor and salutations to the elect. And with that, I say shalom.